Hi, I'm Lena Harrison. I own a little antique shop called Harrison Antiques and Curiosities, tucked away on a quiet corner of the city. Most people think I sell pretty old things, paperweights, clocks, vintage jewelry. They smile politely, call it charming, and move on. But what they don't know is that this little shop is just the front, a facade behind which I've spent 15 years building something no one in my family ever expected, a quiet empire. Take that crystal paperweight on the display counter. This afternoon, the sun hit it just right, scattering tiny rainbows across the walls. It's beautiful, yes, but it's also worth more than most people would imagine. Especially my brother James. I placed it gently back into its velvet-lined case and let my thoughts drift. Tomorrow was Thanksgiving. Another chance for James to flaunt his latest win. Another dinner where I'd quietly play the role of the modest little sister who plays shopkeeper while he takes center stage. But this year would be different. Miss Harrison. My assistant Kate's voice pulled me from my thoughts. The paperwork from Sterling Properties just arrived. They need your signature on the acquisition. I smiled, thinking of the massive office building downtown that would soon join my real estate portfolio. The same building that housed my brother's prestigious law firm, Harrison and Associates. Not that he knew I was the buyer. In fact, James had no idea that his unsuccessful sister was one of the city's largest commercial property owners, operating through a web of carefully structured companies under the name Victoria Holdings. Perfect timing, I said, taking the folder from Kate. And the notice ready to be delivered first thing tomorrow morning, she confirmed, a knowing glint in her eye. Your brother's firm will have 30 days to either accept the new terms or vacate. I signed the papers with a flourish, thinking about how different things were 15 years ago. Back then, James had just made partner while I was using my inheritance from Grandma to open the shop. A waste of good money, he'd called it, selling trinkets while I handle million-dollar legal cases. What James never knew was that Grandma had taught me more than just how to spot valuable antiques. She'd shown me how to invest wisely, how to build wealth quietly, and most importantly, how to be patient. Will you really go through with it? Kate asked, watching me seal the envelope. I touched the antique locket around my neck. Grandma's last gift to me. Inside was a note that read, "True power isn't in what people see, it's in what they don't." Tomorrow at Thanksgiving dinner, I said, James will do what he always does. He'll mock my shop, belittle my choices, and remind everyone how successful he is. And the next morning, he'll learn that his little sister with the trinket shop owns his building. My phone buzzed with a text from my mother. James just called. He's bringing his new Ferrari to dinner. Please dress appropriately this year. I looked down at my simple black dress, deliberately chosen to maintain my image as the modest shopkeeper. Tomorrow, I'd wear something similar, letting them all believe what they wanted to believe. For now, Kate handed me one final document, the new lease terms for Harrison and Associates. The rent would triple, bringing it in line with market rates. Your brother's firm can't afford this, she noted. No, I agreed. They can't. 15 years of taking cases based on prestige rather than profit, of spending money on appearances rather than investments. James built an image of success while I built actual success. The shop's bell chimed as a customer entered. Just another worthless trinket shop, I heard them mutter, echoing words James had used countless times. If they only knew that this worthless shop was just a front for an empire worth hundreds of millions, that every trinket I sold was carefully selected not just for its value, but for the connections it brought. Connections that had helped me build my real estate portfolio piece by piece. I closed the folder containing the building's acquisition papers and placed it in my safe. Tomorrow would change everything. Tomorrow, James would learn that while he was busy looking successful, his little sister had become the one thing he never expected, his landlord. The crystal paperweight caught the light again, sending one last rainbow across the room. Sometimes the most valuable things are the ones people dismiss as worthless. Kate, I called out as she prepared to leave for the day. Make sure the eviction notice is delivered at exactly 9 a.m. tomorrow. I want to arrive just after James finishes bragging about his latest court victory at breakfast. She nodded, understanding in her eyes. Happy Thanksgiving, Miss Harrison. Oh, it will be, I replied, touching Grandma's locket once more. It will be indeed.